Course agenda would be Introduction to DBMS and RDBMS, ERD modeling, normalization and denormalization, database design features, data types, business integrity, system databases, and DDL and DML commands and other commands also, transaction, TCL commands, writing queries, T-SQL programming, views and indexed views, triggers, procedures, cursors, functions, transactions, concurrency and logs, indexes and performance tuning, and case studies. Okay. Complete course outline for SQL Server developer. Okay. Now you have to understand and complete the case studies. The case studies I'll be giving from day one onwards. The course duration would be 1 month. Daily 1 hour to 1.5 hour classes will be there, and I'll be giving the practice exercises daily so that you would practice the course. Okay. So this is the complete agenda. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you can just ping me or ask me. Okay. Now, the first topic would be introduction to DBMS and RDBMS. So, we'll start introduction to DBMS. So, let us understand why DBMS concept. DBMS concept also. In 1950s and 60s, Bell Laboratories have started inventing and using C and C languages. I think you know about C and C++ languages, right? When was that? In 1950s and 60s. Okay, and 60s. This is the time they have started using these languages. Okay. Now, you know about the language. What is the purpose of a language? Language always process the data. Language always process the data, but language cannot store data. What do you mean by that? For example, you give 10 numbers to C or C++, which can sort, or which can find out the maximum, or which can find out the minimum, or which can find out the average. So which can do many things, which can sort, which can perform min, max, sum, many things which can perform. Okay, means you have to supply the data to language. Okay, but language has a weakness. What is the weakness of a language? The weakness of a language is they cannot store data. That is the language. Even today they cannot store data. Now today we have modern languages like .NET, Java, and there are plenty other languages. Even though today Java, .NET, C, C++, if you say a language cannot store data. This is the weakness of a language. Language is cannot store data, but normally in IT industry without data we cannot work. For example, you go to bank, you open an account. So when you open an account, what happens is they'll take your data and you do cash deposits, you do cash withdrawals. But you're supposed to give the data and bank supposed to capture the data. But .NET, Java, C, C++ applications, they cannot store data, but definitely there is a weakness. But how do they process your data if they cannot store the data? That means C, C++ languages need to have a separate storing features, a separate storing features. They have to have it, but unfortunately they don't have the storing capability. So in 1950s 60s they have developed a railway reservation system using this app. Okay, using C and C++ applications, they have developed one app. What is that app called? Railway reservation. Railway reservation app. So this application is used to book your tickets. So you can go to any railway counter and you can definitely book a ticket. But when you book a ticket, what happens? You have to supply your name, address, your telephone number, and train number. Everything will get listed. So this application doesn't have a data to store. So they are initially dependent on what is known as they're initially dependent on notepads. Notepads are known as a flat files. So that means what? whenever data comes, whenever data comes to this railway reservation app, they're storing data in a notepads. Notepad is nothing but your flat file system. So when you go to reservation counter, book a ticket, your ticket number is 1234. Say Satish is booking a ticket from say Chennai to say Hyderabad, and his male, and the coach number is S3, and the seat number is say 12, and date of journey is 12th, May 5 and 2013. The amount is rupees, the 1200 rupees. So you booked some AC ticket. Okay. Now this is how whenever you book a ticket, the data is captured using railway reservation system. Now the other person goes. So 35 is the ticket number. Say Ravi goes and he also books a ticket. So he's booking a ticket from say Bangalore to Pune. Bangalore to Pune. So he is male, and S12 say 34 is the seat number, like that. The data is stored. Blah blah blah. Okay. I'm not filling the data like that. So the initially the language had a issue. What is the issue? They cannot store the data. Now the problem is no more. Why? The language is now dependent on the flat file system. The language has a app. What is the app they have created using this language? Railway reservation app. This application is storing data in a notepad. So the problem got solved. Now people are happy. Everybody is happy. But now there are plenty of other issues got started because the data being stored in a notepad are being stored in a flat file system. This was the story in 1950s and 60s. Initially, they did not have any clue where to store the data. They started with flat files. Understand what are the issues. Okay. So what are the issues or the negative points when I store the data in the notepad? Okay, the first problem is no security on the data. That means what? Anybody can open the flat file, they can modify the data. For example, they can go here completely now, which is not a 1200 rupees. Now it is say instead of 1200 rupees, they can say some XYZ. Okay, now it is not 05, they put some like this, and they can say it is not 122, this is. So then they can save it, because notepad cannot ask you that month cannot be more than 12 or date cannot be more than 30 or year cannot be like that. Okay. So if Satish has lost his ticket and he came to again railway counter requesting them for duplicate ticket, when they take the printout again, now the data is modified, then he would be wondered how come the date is this. Okay. So definitely he doesn't have any clue if there is a modification in the data. Why original data? Because no security on the data, anybody can easily modify. No data integrity. What do you mean by data integrity? Integrity means correctness. Be before below 30 only. Month must be before only 12 months only. Year must be only 4 digits. A gender can be either male or female, but in the gender column somebody is putting some XYZ. They put like this. Okay. So the coach number can be 1 to 14, but somebody says my coach number is this much, and all these are doesn't have a correct information. Okay. Integrity means correctness. The data should maintain the correctness. So that is that may miss. Data retrieval means data access. When you want to need some information, then it will become very slow. Why it will become very slow? Because there is no indexes in it. Okay, let us ask me this question. I need a report contains that how many people have traveled say from Rajkot to Delhi in say some XYZ express during last year. That is the question people have asked. How many people have traveled from Rajkot to Delhi during 2010 and 2011 and 2012 in a train number 1234. If you ask this question to the database or to the C and C++ application, which is very slow because no clue where is the data, which has to read a row by row, row by row, row by row, row by row from the flat file and get the answer. Okay, you are lucky if you have little data. You are unlucky if you have crowds of data, lakhs of data, millions of rows in the flat file system. Okay, level will be very slow. That means if you discuss, there are many more issues, but I told you some 3 to 4 issues here. So they're able to store the data in a flat file, but the flat file is not the right choice for that. Okay. Then initially to overcome these issues, what they have started is, no, we should not use this kind of approach. We have to have lots of other things. So the issues we had discussed. What are the issues? Now we know. So you have many of issues are identified. To overcome these issues, there is a committee framed. The committee created what is known as a DBMS concept. Okay, they have created database management concept. For example, if there is an issue, normally we have to discuss and we have to make some 10-20 points. That's what would happen first. For example, in your colony, there are lots of theft is going on. So immediately what you do, you call for all colony members and you sit and discuss about the incidents which are happening in your colony. So that's where you have to sit and write down what are the issues. Sir, we don't have any gate there. Sir, we don't have any lights there. We don't have proper security there. These are the issues you have to identify. Once you identify these issues, and you have to write them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are nothing but a concept or minutes of meeting we say. Like that, to overcome these issues, there were a few members from Bell Laboratories, from different IBM company, that they discussed some 100 points. Those points are known as database management concept points. So database management means if I have a huge data and if I store the data, database, base means bank means storage. If I would like to store a data in a bank, how do I manage? Is there any system for it? Okay, that system is known as a database management system. Initially, they had this theory paper which is came out of the issues. Okay, so now DBMS concept is a theory which is completely a minutes of meeting. Okay, now DBMS concept always tells that how you can store data, how you can retrieve data. That is what is the complete purpose of a DBMS concept. DBMS stands for database management concept. Now afterwards, there are few types of DBMS came into existence. Okay, there are few types. There are 3 types. So let me give you one by one. First one we had is HDBMS. HDBMS concept, which is known as hierarchical DBMS concept, which is not very famous and people have thrown this out. HDBMS, sorry, there is a spelling mistake here, so let me. No, sorry. So here the first concept is HDBMS concept. All of them are the concepts. You have to be very clear. It is not a software, which is a concept. Then the second one is network DBMS concept. So another style in which you can store the data, you can retrieve the data. Then finally we got RDBMS concept. Okay. RDBMS concept became so popular, HDBMS concept is completely lost in the market. And NDBMS, network DBMS concept is completely lost in the market. Now you have RDBMS concept, okay? Relational database management concept, which is a type of a concept. Using that, you can store data, you can retrieve data in different manner. That is a type. Okay, there are many ways to prepare a food. There are many ways. You may use gas, you may use induction stove, or you may use wood. So there are many types you can use to prepare food like that. There are many ways you can use to store the data. The first one, hierarchical database management, networking database management. Then those two completely out of the market now. And RDBMS concept is the new, which was developed in 19. So RDBMS, which is got introduced in 1970s, I think. Okay, which is completely new. Dr. E.F. Codd, person, he is working for IBM. He developed RDBMS concepts, okay, using relational mathematics and relational algebra and set theory, okay, using that mathematics, and he developed this concept. So what is the purpose of RDBMS concept? You can using this, you can store the data efficiently. You can, retrieve the data efficiently, okay. He developed some rules. All those rules are known as Codd rules, and these rules are mandatory to implement create a RDBMS system. Okay, using this, using what? Using RDBMS concept, many companies developed many softwares. So RDBMS tools they developed. So let us understand what are the companies they have developed, what are kind of tools. The famous company you know is Oracle Corporation. Okay, Oracle Corporation started a tool called Oracle. Oracle is a pure RDBMS tool. Okay, what is the purpose of RDBMS tool? RDBMS tool is there to store the data, to retrieve the data. Now, if you say banking, you can go to ICICI Bank, you can go to Andhra Bank, you can go to State Bank, you can go to Punjab National Bank. All these are the banks, but all of them will offer the same functionality. Oracle Corporation created a software called Oracle Software. Oracle Software is pure RDBMS software. The second one is IBM, because IBM also developed a software called a RDBMS software. The name is DB2, Database 2. Okay. Then Microsoft has also developed a software called, sorry, the company is Microsoft. Now Microsoft developed a software called SQL Server. Okay. Then in the market we have plenty, Teradata. I don't know the company name, but these guys have developed a software called Teradata. Famous software. Then one was open source software also we have. I don't know the company name. MySQL. Say all these are called RDBMS tools. Okay, what are they? Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, Teradata, all these are different tools we have. Okay, like in a banking is the concept. Based on the concept, we have lots of companies have been established. Okay, ICICI Bank, Andhra Bank, HDFC Bank. Okay, like that. RDBMS is the concept. Using this concept in the market, you will have thousands of tools. Now, all these are known as not languages. We have to be very clear. Tool is different than the language. What is the language? Language is for the processing purpose. But RDBMS tool is not for the processing purpose. RDBMS tools are for data storage purpose and data retrieval purpose. Okay. So, Oracle is not a language. DB2 is not a language. SQL Server is not a language. But what is the language? C, C++, .NET, Java, all those are called languages. These Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, all these are called RDBMS tools. What is the tool? Tool means which can perform an activity. Language means which can process a data. Now, what kind of activity RDBMS tools perform? They perform a storing activity. They can perform a retrieving activity. Okay, so you never say Oracle is a language. Oracle is a tool. Which tool? RDBMS tool. You never say DB2 is a language. You have to say DB2 is a tool. Clear? So like that, RDBMS even today became so popular, even though it is developed in 1970s and 76. During that time, uh, Dr. E.F. Codd, he was working for IBM company. Okay, this guy came, created this paper. Now, based on this theory, these many companies have developed these many softwares. Okay, difference between Oracle and DB2, everybody will do the same thing, but only the manufacturer is the different. That's it. Whether you go to ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, the work is the same, right? But only thing is that it is depends upon your choice. Then depends upon their offerings. You choose one bank if it is near to your home, or if you're giving free, services, and based on that you choose one. Okay, so RDBMS tools are this. Clear? So this is what we have to understand. Now, how do I communicate to RDBMS tool? Now you are an end user. For example, Bhaskar or Daisy is here, and now you are the end user. You should able to communicate. You should be able to talk to the software. How do I talk? Okay. Now to speak to, you have to have. Now this is your RDBMS softwares. Okay. Okay, what you have? You have Oracle, DB2. Okay, you have SQL Server. Okay, all these are RDBMS tools. Okay, but how do I communicate? How do I communicate? There is a language called SQL language you have to use. That means I am teaching you today RDBMS using a language called English. Okay, now here, this is you. This is you means you are the end user. End user, how do I communicate? How do I, perform activities with these fellows? For example, I am teaching you in English. Now, how do you give a command to the SQL server? You have to follow a language called SQL language, structured query language. This is the language is implemented in all these tools. Okay, that means Oracle can understand SQL, DB2 can understand SQL language, SQL server is also can understand SQL language. Okay, now structured query language initially developed by IBM people. Developed this language, God has taken this language, they have used in their RDBMS. Okay, now end user, now Daisy tomorrow would work with SQL Server. So how do you interact with SQL Server software? You have to give a command. How do you give the command? In a which language? SQL language. So structured query language is the language which is used in all these tools. Okay, whether it is Oracle, whether it is a DB2, whether it is a SQL Server, the same language you have to use. Whether you say whether you say DBMS, RDBMS, SQL, okay, all these are synonyms. What is that you do? You store the data, you retrieve the data efficiently. Now, all these guys, who are the guys? Now, Oracle says, my language is PLSQL because they modified SQL and they have said, my language name is PLSQL, Procedural Language SQL. DB2 says, DB2 IBM people, they say, my language name is SQL. They did not modify it because they have created SQL language. SQL says, my language is Transact SQL. Like that, many companies have given their own naming standards. So this is the languages they have. But all these languages have been derived from SQL language only. You have to be very clear. Okay. So SQL means what? A structured query language. Query language. Okay. You can say SQL, but you should not write SQUEL. You never write like this. This is not a right way of writing. SQL means SQL only. You have to say SQL, structured query language. It is developed by whom? IBM guys. Okay. Now all people are using the same language. 95% of or 90 to 95% of the commands, Oracle, DB2, SQL Server, Teradata, MySQL, everybody will have the same commands. Only 10% will be their own. Clear? So whether you say SQL or PLSQL or SQL, TLSQL doesn't matter to you. You have to be very clear which is the language which is used in RDBMS tools. Okay. Now using a SQL language, structured query language, one can interact with RDBMS softwares. What are the RDBMS softwares? Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, MySQL, Teradata, all these things. Clear? So this is how we have to understand. So we started initially where? We started initially flat file systems. Then we started with, there were lots of issues. From that we got into DBMS. From there we've got into the types of RDBMSs. Now we have these many tools in the market. Okay? Now we are using, what is the tool we are using? We are using SQL Server. SQL Server, if you talk about the history, what is the history in SQL Server? See, when was this started? SQL Server started first time SQL Server 1.0, which is in 1981. There are many versions. So SQL Server, then SQL Server 5.0, then SQL Server 7.0, which is in 1998, I think. Then SQL Server 2000, this is year 2000. Server 2005. Then we have SQL Server 2008. Server 2008 R2. R2 means release 2. This has got released in 2008. The new version is 2012. Okay. Now this is also known as Denali. Our Denali means 2012, which is a fresh copy. Okay. Now you have to install this software in your computer. What is the software you have to install? SQL Server 2008 R2. R2 means release 2. Okay. So we are practicing this. If somebody asks what is the version, you have to say SQL Server 2008 release 2. Okay. Now you have to download this software in your laptop and install it. I'll show you how to install and everything. So that's fine. Okay. So this completes the introduction to DBMS and RDBMS. If you have any questions, you can just ask me, or you can just okay. Any questions?